come on, Renee. This will be quick. Lucas is impatiently fiddling with the cutlery. He just got home from work and now he's waiting for you to join him. I swear, that man. Okay, we have to do dishes. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, we can open this, so... How do we fit everything in here? Oh no. What do we do? So much of this stuff is interactable. It's like, it's kind of took me by surprise here. It's like hard to see where the interaction points are. Oh, okay. Just doing domestic work, that's all. It's all good. What do I have left to clean? Is there anything left to clean? Oh, I have to put stuff away. Okay. This is very domestic. Her life is very boring. I wonder if she's frustrated with her husband because, like, his life is a cop or whatever. This looks a lot like my cupboard. There, all done.
Oh, hey.
Hey, hon, you all done? Come on, let's have dinner. I was actually thinking of eating in the office. There's still so much work I need to do. Babe, can we just spend some time together? There's plenty of time to work tomorrow. Come on, get that butt over here. All right, sure, let's eat. Let's see. Great. It looks delicious, babe. Don't know why you keep putting your own cooking down. I think you're a great chef. My cooking is fine, I just don't like doing it. I think you're great at it. Is this eggplant? No, it's aubergine. Oh, right. I knew that. They're the same thing, Lucas. Yeah, I knew that too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, why don't you tell me about your day, honey? Glad you brought it up. I actually wanted to talk to you about it. You did? Well, shoot. What did you want to talk about? Well, I looked into some similar cases. You did? And what did you find? Huh. Fires like this usually only occur in West End and the Village. The buildings there are older, aren't they? A little rougher around the edges. Seems reasonable that they'd be more of a fire hazard. Fires start everywhere, Lucas. But people only seem to die in the poor districts. Well, Gastown's more modern, safer, cleaner. I guess. More precautions that have been taken. Less crime than anywhere else, too. And more apes than anywhere else, too. What are you talking about, Renee? What do apes have to do with this? The apes make the rules, Lucas. Follow that line of thought. So what? Apes hate half the population? Is that what you're saying? You just want them dead? Not hate, Lucas. It's indifferent. It's about power. That's all it is. Power over what? Life and death, so the apes are evil, twirling mustaches and burning buildings? Don't fucking patronize me, Lucas. Renee, please, it's just... I'm sorry. I know this is important to you. I know I'm tense. I know the article means a lot. I just had a very long day. Can we not talk about it right now? It's not about the article, Lucas. Yeah, no, I understand that. I get it. I didn't mean it like that. I just mean that this whole thing, you're obsessed with it. I'm seeing this through, Lucas. End of story. You can't end the discussion while I'm insisting on including me in it, Renee. I don't know what to say, what to add. I just want to know why you can't see this. I'll be honest, Renee. I really don't see it. I didn't even really believe you did back when you first brought it up. It all seemed like a series of coincidences and guesswork, and I'm not sure anything has changed, other than your growing obsession to make this a thing. Things change, Lucas. More things come to light. But nothing concrete. Nothing definitive or clear. Just more guesswork. More leeway for doubt because you're looking for it. Why are you being so defensive about this? You don't know what it's like, Renee. You're looking at this from the outside. We're at an impasse, Lucas. I don't know, we'll improvise. Look, why don't you get some rest? It's been a long day. I'll clear the table, all right? I love you. You'll clear the table? Yeah. It's plates and glasses, Renee. I'll be fine. All right, then. Renee? They have a bad relationship. So I'm confused about Lucas because I don't remember him being in the first game, so it's over. Don't worry, I'll take care of the cleaning up and the dishes. I'll be in my office, all right? Can't you? All right, sure. You do what you gotta do. Do I get anything here, or is it just another drinking scene? That's what it seems like. I don't get to play with the radio. Don't need that light on if we have all the others on. Hey there, pretty. Still need to get that record player. Lucas said he'd do it, but that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, things are not... There's trouble in paradise here. Oh, that's just the end of that. You insisted on discussing the case with Lucas. Interesting, okay. Eli Abbas, The Dig Site, August 21st. August 21st, still alive. Might have to stop writing that in here on a daily basis. Artifact aside, I'm starting to feel safer out there than I do back home. Beginning to think that the stories we've been told about the world outside the wall have been overblown. The apes have clearly lied to us about the dangers that await us beyond the wall. We have it hammered into our brains from such an early age that no one could last more than a few days out here. HQ clearly has the information to refute that narrative. But instead, they amplify it. It's been a busy week, lots of equipment to set up to prepare for testing. Everything seems to be running fine, but it's doing a number on our power grid. At least that number is within reasonable parameters. The whole dig site is full of machines. Temperature chambers, corrosion chambers, humidity chambers. We even got a chemical station set up. I'm looking forward to getting some work done, in all honesty. Jorge was in touch with HQ yesterday and they claim the weather should be all right. Our barometer agrees with them. I'll take the word of any piece of equipment over that of HQ, especially lately. They weren't exactly chatterboxes to begin with, but their tone feels much colder now. All we get are the barest of instructions devoid of any emotion or empathy. I wouldn't rule out that they're jealous of our find. Fieldwork has always been busy in the eyes of the higher-ups, but now, we're about to lay claim to one of the biggest finds in ages, and I'm glad we're so far outside the wall it'll be days before they can send someone to intervene. That'll give us plenty of time to put our stamp on this artifact. HQ still refuses to tell us how to proceed. It's been almost a week, and await further instructions is all they give us. We've decided to push forward, with or without their blessing. I convinced Jorge of that. Jorge cares about the procedure for the work itself, not out of fealty. That's why he's been in this job for decades, and also why he hasn't moved past it. He's too focused on details and misses the bigger picture. I had to make him realize that this find is too important for us to just sit idly by. This is a discovery the likes of which have never been seen. If something were to happen to it while we wait around hoping for HQ to make a decision, I don't think either of us would be able to forgive ourselves. I'm excited to start testing. I need to know what it is, where it came from. Ever since I laid eyes on it, I felt this strange feeling of purpose, almost like there's a connection between us, like it's already a part of me. In our first phase of experiments, Jorge and I will be testing the artifact to see how it reacts to other elements. Given its unpredictable nature, Jorge and I will be taking every possible precaution at our disposal. Jorge's more experienced in fieldwork, so I'll be following his lead. Given my credentials, we've agreed that it's best that I take the lead. Huh. I don't know what these choices are so, like, I have no idea about chemistry, so I don't know what this would be right. Alright, let's just say defies current scientific metrics. What I really hope to figure out is how the artifact has managed to remain this animated after being isolated for decades, maybe centuries, seemingly without sustenance. My current theory is that the artifact defies current scientific metrics. Given the artifact's unpredictable nature, Jorge and I will be taking every possible precaution currently at our disposal as we move forward. Let's just hope our luck with the elements will continue. Can't let Jorge hear me wish for a more comfortable bed again. Kept making fun of me for the last 3 days straight last time. Be damned, he actually tidied up, a little bit at least. Where does he a temp chamber this clean? There's usually spills and stains from some smartass trying to heat or cool their drink in them. Kettle says, I'd be more surprised if it did not react to carbon in some way. Carbon's such a slutty element. What does that even mean? It has it rubs its electrons all over everything. I don't know science. I'm not a science person. I'm a raccoon that plays video games on the internet. The old SR-300, in remarkably good shape for a corrosion chamber. I remember asking what we needed a full chemistry set for. Now I know, I suppose. Here, take this. Is that what I think it is? A sample, a small one, but a sample still. Managed to cool it down a little bit, wriggly little bastard. Did you have any problems? A little bit. Handling this thing gets nerve-wracking sometimes. Lucky for you, I'm the one doing it, not you. Funny. Hope you don't expect me to start telling jokes too. You? Telling jokes? That'll be the day. Now come on, let's get started. Glad to see you so enthusiastic about my suggestion. What can I say? You made a strong case for it, and I expect you to keep that up. What should we focus on? I'd like to know what exactly this thing is made of, chemically, I mean. Well, I've already started determining the chemical structure of this thing, but it's left me with some strange questions. You've been doing cytology without me. Not my fault you're so adamant on writing that journal. You better be documenting all the stunning revelations and discoveries I make, you nerd. You're doing cell biology, Jorge. You're in no position to call anyone a nerd. And yet here I am. Isn't it crazy how that works, nerd? Maddening. So is there anything I can do to help? Most definitely, I've got a list. Well, before we get to that, first things first. I've established that the artifact is most certainly organic. Is it alive? So it would seem. The same way a plant or an amoeba or a cell is, I suppose. Sentience? Sapience? Too soon to say. Is there a difference between sentience and sapience? Sentience is like just like having, being able to interact with things, right? And sapience is like understanding of self. Do I have that right? Am I correct, scientists? I'm neither sapient or sentient, so I have no idea. Too soon to say. Black goo never really screamed intelligence in my book, but it's been a strange couple days. I see. Have you tested how it reacts to other non-organic matter? Just very briefly. It adapts to outside forces very quickly, and almost molds itself to fit into whatever its current environment is. I'll need more details than that. My working hypothesis is that this thing is constructed out of a tissue similar to muscles, albeit a lot more fluid, and its resting state appears to be wet, relaxed, in a mostly liquid form. I'm also in my most rested when I am wet and relaxed. Its base state is wet, relaxed, and liquid. Got it. I think it'd be best if you see it for yourself. Try to change one of its properties individually. See if you can make it wet, relaxed, and solid. I would love, I mean, that just sounds like a fun night to me, Jorge. We can get that. I can get you wet, relaxed, and solid if you give me a minute. All right. Change liquid to solid. Understood. Let me know how it goes. I'll be right here if you need me. Thanks, Jorge. Okay, how do I use it? What do I do? I have to modify the artifact into a wet state, a solid state. This UI is really hard to figure out how to interact with. Sample goes in the dish in the center. No? How do we do this? How does this work? I don't understand. This is actually difficult to determine. Dilution solution goes in there. Oh god. Is there anything else? What else is there? Humidity chamber. Oh, this is probably what I need to do, right? Humidity and corrosion chamber should be good for humidifying or drying out the sample. Okay. So this is for, so it needs to be wet, right? Okay, there we go. Sample in the testing tube, and then the testing tube in the middle. Okay. So that's wet. They're liquid and wet. And this should agitate it. So do I go like this? Yes. And then I turn that on, and then I do that, and then what? Where does this go? Sample goes in the dish and then in the center. Not helpful. There we go. Opens up the agitation compound. Huh. I don't, How does this work? It's relaxed, so okay, we don't want it to be agitated. So what do we do? Salt spray should agitate the sample, probably solidify it too. Oh, okay. Now it's agitated and solid. Wet state, solid state, agitated. How the heck do we... I'm so confused. Temperature chamber, okay. Expose it to extreme temperatures. High heat, can use this to liquefy or dry out the sample, probably both. Freeze should both solidify and relax the sample. All right, relaxed and solid to be expected. Okay, I understand that a little bit better now. Makes you wonder what else is under us. Oh, it's strange to imagine that we were so close to uncovering this thing for so long. It was right under us. Never mind that. Looks like you managed to sort it out. Strange, isn't it? That was incredibly tedious, Jorge. We're doing exactly what we signed up for, Eli. You should be over the moon. No one's ever seen anything like this before, and we get the first shot at determining what it is. Let's stay focused. You're right. Just a little antsy, I suppose. Well, with that out of the way, I'll need to start testing out some of my hypotheses. Where do you want to start? The thing survived as long as it did, I presume, due to it being in such a relaxed, fluid state. Hibernation of some sort, I'd wager. Slowing down any and all gestation to conserve energy. That's the logical conclusion, at least from a biological standpoint. I'm not a biologist, but that sounds about right to me. There you go. The question then becomes how we can push it. And I think this thing is capable of taking whatever form it, well, chooses. You want to subject the sample to more extreme elements? Within reason. Under ordinary circumstances, I'd be a little bit more wary, but this to me seems like a crucial step in determining exactly what we're dealing with here. We push it out of its comfort zone then. Exactly. I'll need it dry, agitated, and solid. Get to it, Eli. Dry, agitated, and solid. All right, let's give this a try. Okay, so... there you go. Agitated. And now all we have to do is dry it out, right? Liquefy. We don't want that. It's liquid and dry. How do we get it to solid again? I guess we have to freeze it, right? That's not good. That's the opposite of what we want. We made it dry and solid. Now we just need to agitate it. Whoa, which is easy to do because we put the salt spray on it. There we go. We did it. Okay, that was easy.
Oh.
I was thinking of attempting to split my sample into two, to see if they try to fuse together again. Thoughts? No, not yet. Not at the very least. Anyway, looks like you got it. Yeah, that's what I was hoping to see, I suppose. But now that I see it, I don't really know what to make of it. Me neither. It defies explanation. No, we just need to find the right one. We're only starting out, Eli. In a little while, we'll start having a better working idea of what we're dealing with here. How'd it go on your end? Well, it ate something, or not quite. I placed a corn puff next to it and the sample began to spread over its surface. Seeped into whatever cracks there were in the surface, and then it just stayed there. You said it ate. Did it start to break it down? The outmost layer, yes. It just latched onto the rest. Didn't even begin to break down the rest of the piece I gave it. Once I pulled it out, it was dry as before, like someone had just licked it. That is certainly unsettling. Tell me, what conclusion do you draw from that? It's alive. Must be. An organism, then. That's unlike any microbial culture I've ever seen. Then again, this is the furthest I've ever been from the city. So, a type of primitive life form capable of sustaining itself in the wasteland. I was thinking something similar, yes. I think there's a few sample tests we could do to see whether or not that is the reality of the situation. What do you need? We're close. It being dry and solid makes sense, but the way it handled the piece of food. Try making it dry, agitated, and liquid. Dry and liquid at the same time? Wouldn't be unheard of chemically. In an organism, however, that'd be quite remarkable. Only one way to find out. So, if I remember correctly, the term dry is scientifically it's only related to water, right? So something can technically be liquid without being dry, like liquid metal is dry, technically, right? It has to do with how, like, waterlogged it is or whatever, right? I could be wrong, but I just couldn't remember. All right, let's see. Just trying to think. We need it to be dry, liquid, and agitated. It's already agitated. What do we need? No. What does this one do? This opens up the agitation compound. Okay, we do need it to be agitated. Heat up the dilution solution. What does the dilution solution do? It's weird. The buttons aren't working. Give me a second. There we go. Are there any other buttons there? No? We want it in a dry state and a liquid state. It's solid right now. How do we agitate the sample if it's supposed to? Should make it a little bit more liquid too. Okay, perfect. All right, agitated and liquid. Wait, what? How did that? It just said it was liquid. Why is it saying it's solid still? Oh, here we go. There we go. Now it's liquid and dry. Kettle says, imagine being a primitive life form and some ass decides he wants to see you get mad. Agree. What do you think the boys in Science City are up to right now? Missing out on real scientific progress, that's what. Anyway, I see you've made progress. Anything out of the ordinary this time? Nothing about this is ordinary, Jorge. I suppose not, but we're making do. We're a good team, all things considered. proving our hypothesis. You think so? Today was your initiative, so yeah, I'd say so. Don't let it get to your head. After all this is done, maybe the two of us can continue to collaborate. After this? Yeah. One could hope, I guess. We'll see. So what now? Right. Well, as it stands, we've got a living thing on our hands. Some type of potentially sapient organism that was buried underground for Shepard knows how long. Is this what we were meant to find? We arrived, and we started digging exactly in the spot they asked us to. That's too perfect to be a coincidence. Yeah, this was our quarry. Hunt's over, man. It was sealed in a metal pod. Why? It certainly didn't trap itself in there. So someone or something placed it into a container and sealed it away. Alright, but what's its purpose? Shit, man. Without getting too philosophical, what's our purpose? Eat, sleep, die? Seems like our friend here skipped out on the last step, though. Are you saying this thing can't die? I don't know. All I know is that the two of us are stuck out here in the desert, along with a pot of creepy black goo that was locked away 5 meters underground in a bunker, and we just found out it's alive and it eats things. Well, it was nice knowing you. This is when you start cracking jokes? Now? Well, maybe I underestimated you. I appreciate the effort to lighten the mood, man. This is a lot. Don't know what to think. You want to hear what I think? Sure, hit me. We don't know the effects this thing could have on people. It should be studied far away from the city by a small team. Us. You sure about that? Clearly, this thing is dangerous. You're not just making a compromise out of prize. Leaving it would be just as dangerous. No joke, all right. We stay here then. No one knows this thing better than us. Looks like we're gonna remain co-workers then. I guess we will. Look, man, this has been a day and a half. You mind marking down our progress and conclusions in that research ledger? I think I need to clear my head. Because I'm the lead scientist on this particular day? If that's what it takes for me to take 5 men, then sure, lead away. The ledger's over there, on the table to your left. What? No, it's not. Where is it? Feel like we're finding a new use for these things every day. What? Where is the ledger? It looks like it should be right here, but it's not. Nothing's interactable. Do I just gotta go back into my room? So, wasn't really, I mean, I guess it technically was on a table to my left. All right. Oh, we just finished the second act. You and Jorge agree that the artifact should be contained in a secluded location and studied by a small team of experts in order to minimize the risks. Neat. Larissa Bloodworth in the Industrial District. That was an interesting, like, loading period right there. We're here. Good. Let's not waste any more time. We have we have to do a bit of walking down the path over there, over the dam. All right, lead on. There really is nothing nice out there, Clarissa. Please stay by the car. I'll be back in no time. No, you're not leaving me alone out here. I assure you, you'll be safe. This will be quick anyway. No need for you to walk all that way for nothing. You don't need to protect me from anything, Uncle. Never argued you couldn't handle yourself, but it's not going to be nice. I don't care about nice. I'm not a child, Uncle. You're on thin ice as it is, Clarissa. If your father knew you were here with me, I don't care whether he knows or not. But it's better if he doesn't, for both of us. Clarissa. That's why I'm asking you to stay here. Let's not take any risks. Well, be careful, Uncle. Trust me. I don't like it, but I know that look in your eye. Arguing with you now is useless. Just don't touch anything, all right? We'll see what happens. I suppose so. One last time, Clarissa. Are you certain you don't want to stay here? Yes. Now let's go. Empty bottles of whiskey and stale dried plastic. It's been here so long it doesn't even smell anymore. Oh, I recognize this area. This is the underpass. This is where you can see Casey Explosion's character in the first game. We usually refer to these things as, well, cleanup or a sweep. Of course, back in the day we called it a touch-up. Change in terms is good, though. A little confusing for old heads like mine, but you make do. You seem to be doing fine, old man. Doing this thing for decades. Circumstances change, but the work itself remains the same. And what exactly is the work? You know what it is, Clarissa. Surely you do. You're a clever girl. That's not what I asked, Uncle. Well, sometimes deals go sour, or someone needs taken care of. There are rules. When those rules are broken, well, they need to be enforced. So that's cleanup. No, it's just enforcement. Sometimes things just get out of hand. Some things can't be explained away. The touch-up is, well, making sure those mistakes remain unknown, to the public anyway. So who else knows we're here? Usually the Don, maybe his advisor, maybe a capo or two. The ones responsible for this mess. Sometimes a pocket cop will ask for a bribe. Other than that, these affairs are taken care of quietly. And you? What do you know about this one? Not much. Got word from one of the other capos. Told me it was cleared with your father. All I got was the location, and, well, usually that's enough for me. You're not curious? Sometimes I am, but usually the scene is pretty self-explanatory. That's it? No questions asked? I do my job. That's really all there is to it. You're setting yourself up to be taken advantage of. What do you mean, Clarissa? They know you don't tend to ask questions. What kind of work does that leave you with? Let's get going, all right? We can talk more on the way. Seats are stained, some type of stale black liquid. Wonder if it always was that color. Still in decent shape. Good to know that after we're all dead and gone, plastic and rubber will live forever. I really like the world building and the characters in this. And I would love to read like a novel set in this universe. Like that, it would be really cool to me. You've never been out this far, have you? No, I know you have though. Me and the other capos use this place for all sorts of things. Deals, arguments, meetings, disposal. Deals? Yeah, back in the day, it was mostly about territory, drawing lines, settling disputes, business deals. And now? Well, your father insisted we get into some kind of new venues. The money's good, but it's a lot of trouble. Kind of trouble. The younger, newer crew, well, if it's not a problem yet, it will be one soon. Start acting out, getting brave. Wouldn't be surprised if those kids were to start coming here on their own accord, settling their own debts. Makes sense. This is an isolated, safe spot. It's a useful meeting place. I suppose so. This is about as ugly as our business gets, so I'm glad to see you're not... Well, I'm glad to see you've got stomach. Just don't get too used to it, even I try not to. Used to be a cleaner back in the day. I think you meant to say I used to be a cleaner back in the day. Oh, it used to be cleaner, that's what it is. Wish we could go back the way things were. So do I, Clarissa. A lot has changed. Some for the worse, some for the better. It doesn't have to be like that. Not all change is for the better. What do you mean? This all started with my father's leadership. A rotten kingdom is only as rotten as its ruler. Maybe there's hope in the line of succession. You think you do things differently? I don't know. I just try to be more like Grandpa than my father. You and me both, Uncle. People who care about the old days. That does sound nice. But before you go on changing the world, kid, how about we get up to the top of this dam? The view's real nice. Come on. Rusted shut. Makes you wonder how structurally sound this place is. Told you, didn't I? You can see real far from here. The city seems so distant, so minuscule. Perspective. I suppose that's one of the few good things about coming here, huh? Can't get much further out than this. You're right. It is nice. Good. We'd lose our minds if all we did was imagine what things could be, instead of seeing them for what they are. So enjoy the little things. That's your wisdom? I'd rather see them for what they could be. Just remember, Clarissa, dreams easily shift into fantasy, and fantasy never got anyone anywhere. You're wrong. Ambition gets us everywhere. Ambitions are fickle things, kid. Same as dreams, same as fantasy. Don't you have any ambition, Uncle? I've learned to settle, to be happy with my lot. It makes my life a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. So you're content to wallow in mediocrity, I see. It's easy for you to say, Uncle. Not everyone's lot is as agreeable as yours. No, why? Suppose not. Ah, look. We're almost there. Just down these stairs and we've arrived. Yeah, this game has amazing atmosphere, and like honestly, I want to like go back and play Backbone again, just to spend more time in this space, because I like the characters and I like the art and the environment and stuff, but I want a sequel so bad. It feels like reading a comic book that just like got canceled halfway through the run. I want more. This game is satisfying that quite a bit though. Not sure if that's the city in the distance or just more of this. I like that it's like almost cyberpunk too. It has like a really weird aesthetic at points, mixed with like a 1960s, 1970s noir. What's that smell? Probably a body. Yep. Below the pier, soaked in seawater and partially covered in kelp, rests a cocoon of rags, the concealed content betrayed by tufts of fur and skin sticking out between the wrappings. A thin, frail hand sticks out on one side. On one end, 2 feet mangled and twisted, and on the other, you glimpse a young face. Look at the feet. The color of the fur is faded, but the shape and contortion of the feet seems, even from a distance, unnatural and painful. Even after being subjected to the elements and tossed around, it's clear to see that the body has been wrapped with little care. Loose ends washed up against the rocks make it clear that only a select few of the wrappings hold the body in place around shoulders, arms, and waist. What little you see of the eyes are glazed over and still. The features are delicate, pale, lifeless, and distinctly feminine. This is or was a young girl. She's what, Uncle? Go on, tell me. Just a kid, just a little girl. Curious what would be best to say here. Shit. Let's get to work. We're going back to the car now. What, now you don't have the stomach for it? The car, Clarissa, now. Oh my god, we have to walk all the way back? Careful how you step, Clarissa, the dam is opening. I guess this will just wash the body away anyway. God, I wish I didn't have an ultra-wide monitor because like every single moment of this game is a wallpaper. It's like a desktop wallpaper that I desperately want to record so that I can put it in like wallpaper engine. She couldn't have been older than 15, 16. Maybe Frankie knows. I mean, clearly they're supposed to be like Italian analogs, Italian mobsters, because the grandfather called her Clarissa Bella early, but... I should play with Wallpaper Engine more. I'm always worried that it's gonna like kill my system resources, even though it like I know that scientifically speaking, running it shouldn't be a big deal. Shepard, it wasn't always like this. Need to find a spot for her somewhere. Looks like warnings, but the writing is long since faded. Can't tell if all of these were here before or not. This has been really engaging. Just like a really interesting. It's honestly not what I expected from a Backbone prequel. It's very similar to the first game, but different in ways that are really meaningful. Stay by the car. You need my help, Uncle. Face it. Clarissa, stay by the car. Wake up, Clemens. These aren't the good old days anymore. It shouldn't have gone like this. You shouldn't have had to see that. I told you that it wasn't going to be pretty. Shouldn't have brought you here. Who cares what I did, what I see or don't see? What happened to that girl, that's what matters. Larissa, just... No, hear me out. You owe it to me. Please just listen to me. I've been thinking about this a lot and I might have a plan. All right, I'm listening. I'm not going to... no, we're not going to confront the father. That's a bad idea. This whole thing, our family, it's over. I want to start over and create my own syndicate. It's simple, really. Carlo is the source of this rot, and I'm going to kill him. Larissa, take a deep breath. Compose yourself. You wouldn't kill your own father, would you? What other choice is there? He's the source of all of this rot. No, I understand. I only ask that you consider this seriously before you do anything. You need to plan it. You need the backing that's a typo. Developers, if you're watching, there's a typo here. The backing of the family. Otherwise, it'd all fall apart. That's why I need you. We'll talk about this later. For now, I need to deal with the body. I'm coming with you. I see. All right. There's some rope and tools in the trunk. Go grab them. No need to drag this out. Okay, that was interesting. Clemens understood your perspective, but remained uncertain about what could be done about it. Is that what happened? He seemed pretty on board with me taking out the mob boss. Interesting.